Chad, who also goes by Anything4Views, is a staple in YouTube history as someone who is part of the original gang with Filthy Frank and others in 2016. However, he has stuck around and continued to create content for the last 8 years since then, producing a successful show called The Cold Ones. But out of nowhere, he posted a long statement apologizing for his past actions. Some people in his community took this as a good stride in the right direction, while others compared him to iDubbbz, with some claiming his new apology is completely fake, and it's actually due to controversy with his new drink product, Grog, and the internet had a lot to say about it. It starts off with Chad's statement on Twitter where he posts, "The amount of fans I've had the pleasure to meet over this past year has been a blessing and heartwarming experience. I can't believe how many of you MFers watch our shit and are so involved. In my life, I've only ever wanted to entertain and bring joy and laughter to other people's life on and off camera, and I hope people who know me can attest to that. However, when I was younger, I said and did some edgy stuff online to impress a community that I thought I needed approval from for some stupid ass reason. I said some horrid, racist, and sexist things on stream because it made a chat move quicker and made me feel like it was entertaining. When I inevitably got banned for the shit I was saying, it broke me completely. But looking back at it now, it was a good thing, because it forced me to take a step back and think about what I was saying and the impact it had on not just myself, but people watching and even the people around me. Making vids and especially live streams, it can be hard to separate what's performance and what's real, but I absolutely said those things and hurt people, including friends around me, and I think an apology to all of them is long overdue. I'm deeply sorry. It's been 7 years, and not a day goes past that I don't look back on those days and absolutely tear myself up inside. But thankfully I've surrounded myself with good people, loved ones, and friends and family, and the last thing I want to happen is for my younger self's stupid mistakes to affect those who helped me understand and to learn to be better. I know getting drunk on camera isn't exactly changing the world, but getting to meet some of you legends over the past year has made me so thankful that I left that shit behind me, and I feel like I owe you guys some accountability for being as stupid as I was. I'm not proud of myself yet, but I am proud of what we're making, and I am proud of the team I am privileged to share walls with and call my friends. I want to thank you all for watching my stuff, and from the bottom of my heart, I'm sorry for being the selfish dumbass I was. I think the doctors took out the critical thinking part from my brain." Quick pause, we just announced our memberships, which means you can have a chance to appear in videos. Tier 2 members and higher get access to private channels in our Discord, which has a forum for upcoming topics that are in production, and you can weigh in and say your hot takes and possibly be chosen to represent the internet in a video. To become a member today, just hit the join button below, and our public Discord for members and non-members alike is linked below. Anyway, continuing the video. Vibin responds, "Chad from Joji surely can't read, but he can write." Joey Bazinga replies, "Love you, big dog." Josh Dub says, "Anyone who knows you personally knows you're an actual good dude, man." Justin says, "Thanks for letting me use your Bugatti at TwitchCon, legend. Love you." Diddley replies, "If you don't look back at your past self and cringe a little, something's not right. No point dwelling over the past, you've changed." Josig says, "Chad, accountability was not on my 2024 bingo card, but we love to see it." Goober Yanko says, "Just put the grog in the bag, brother." Saku replies, "Cold Ones has gone woke." And Crunchy Napkin responds, "Far from it. Owning up to your fuck-ups and being a man about it ain't ever been the woke thing to do. Woke would be running a twit longer and all your friends turning their back on you for being cancelled." Hallie Hairbun quote tweets Chad and says, "So with that in mind, y'all are gonna stop saying the R slur and stop using AI in your videos, right?" Shamus quote tweets Chad and says, "2016 edgelord YouTuber cucks out and does my le past post. Oh brother." Chud Memes quote tweets Chad and says, "Before the tard starts spurging out, no, he's not pulling an iDubbbz. He's most likely talking about the community he had on Twitch, not the Filthy Frank days." Captain Howdy quote tweets Chad and says, "Chad isn't all of a sudden sorry. He's sorry his true behavior is coming to light and it's losing him money. If he was sorry, he would have said something years ago, and not just off the back of grog retail partners like Total Wine, IGA Liquor, and Celebrations dropping him hundreds of stores. We've been investigating Chad's actions for the last 5 weeks, and what we found is deeply disturbing. The behavior he claims is only on camera or in the past is completely false, and we have testaments and videos to prove it. Chad has even gone to the effort of deleting Reddit posts and comments, as well as hiding our tweet replies to stop this information from coming out. Our video coming out tomorrow will go into much farther detail." And then they attach 2 images. This one seems to be Edward from Total Wine in an email where it says "to me" and it says "Captain Howdy. These products have been pulled from Total Wine and more shelves. The views expressed are abhorrent and entirely inconsistent with our values and brand." Then it seems to be another email here where someone named Craig at medcash.com says, "Hi blank, thanks for your earlier email emails to John. As flagged by John, we have now looked into the matter you raised in relation to Chad Roberts and confirmed that grog is no longer being made available by ALM to our independent retailers. ALM and Medcash in no way condones any anti-Semitic, racist, or sexist behavior or comments. Regards, Craig. Captain Howdy continues his post by saying, here's a Reddit post from the Cold One subreddit that was deleted by the moderators last week, where a fan recounted a Total Wine employee telling them that grog was recalled because it didn't align with their values. Chad is a moderator on the Reddit. Honking Log responds, congratulations on achieving literally nothing of any value and taking things away from people. Yeah, It says, bro wants to be Dogpack 404 so bad. Rayo says, who are you? James Scott replies, people change, thumbs up. Halicon says, you suck, man. Let people change. Don't ruin their career just because of something that happened a decade ago. Slump Tonight responds, unless you got with like a literal child, I don't care, bro. Let people grow up and change. I can guarantee you've done stupid shit when you were younger that you wouldn't want getting out. Everybody in the world does. Let it go, dude. You're not gonna get fame from this. It just makes you look like a C. Dr. Awesome X posts this on the YouTube drama subreddit where he says, Anything4Views/Chad Cold Ones apologizes for past racist and sexist comments, discusses the effect it's had on his personal life, thanks viewers for the recent support on grog and Cold Ones. Thankfully, the Cold Ones community has grown to be vastly different than the fan base the Shrimpson boys had, i.e. Filthy Frank, iDubbbz, Maximofo, Anything4Views, How To Basic, so I don't see people reacting anywhere near as negatively as people did back when iDubbbz acknowledged his past and the fan base he garnered that he grew to despise. Really happy to see Chad taking accountability and moving on properly. Saramuka replies, Shrimpson boys. This is my first time seeing them referred to as Shrimpson boys. My circle has always known them as the Cancer Crew. And Op replies, I've heard both. I believe Ian has even referred to the group as such, and attaches a Filthy Frank fandom article which says the Shrimpson boys. Forget the 90s replies to the original post by saying, I don't really know much about Max and Chad pre-Cold Ones, but I think his apology is well thought out and articulated. He's taking an accountability, explained why he did it, but isn't trying to diminish its impact. I think the way he explains that getting banned upset him at the time, but reflecting on why it was a good thing lends credibility to him. Hope things keep going well for him. Edit. I know little to nothing about iDubbbz or Filthy Frank past very surface level stuff. I was definitely around on the internet when they were popular, but I didn't watch any of their stuff. I've just read about it more recently. That said, I still believe that people doing stupid shit for shock value can be redeemed, especially with age and wisdom, and I stand by what I said. Steve Gerkel replies, they were pretty much as bad as iDubbbz back in the day. Chad would say racist shit in videos. He had an old woman streaming channel where he'd take random women on dates and say stupid offensive shit to shock the women or viewers and shit. Glad he regrets that, lol, but that shit was cringe. Max is actually not so bad. I can only remember him being like ironically homophobic, but like those dudes full on kissed and groped each other, so it was way obvious they weren't really homophobes. Bradman Breast replies, Max started out years ago by prank calling, harassing people, and uploading them to YouTube. One of them was bad enough that he ended up making national news for it, but I don't think he ever really said anything that wasn't considered okay at the time. Saying that though, I can't imagine it aged well, and I don't really want to find that out. SMA2343 says, the duality of Cold Ones fans immediately understanding and accepting Chad's apology and his growth of content, and then iDubbbz fans who hate him for his apology and want him to continue to say racial and homophobic slurs in his videos. Purple Coffin Man replies, it's because their fan bases have gone in such drastically different directions / progressed in such drastically different directions. Cold Ones, and by extension Max and Chad, has been a much slower burn compared to iDubbbz due to the format of Cold Ones as a show. Ian really only straightened out probably either right before or right after the pandemic. Cthulhu Slayer replies, because Chad acts like an adult. iDubbbz literally just swapped targets, but he's still the same guy. And Sledgehammer replies, this is exactly what they're talking about. It's literally the same thing. These are two people doing exactly the same thing. If you don't like one of them, that's fine, but don't try to rationalize it. Nicholas Diorio then screenshots the thread we just read and posted on his Twitter saying, the weird, they just want him to say slurs gaslighting has left these people with no idea why iDubbbz is made fun of online. Rift Knight replies, when I see people who say they've grown up, I'd like to actually visually see it in the way they act now versus then. Chad has visually grown. You can see that in the way he acts. Whereas Ian just changed, he hasn't grown up. Solaire replies, I wonder what percentage of his downfall is because of his wife. Deathcard posts Chad's apology on the R Cold One subreddit and titles it, the Reddit will cry about this. Back to the Zach replies, feels genuine, which is rare for YouTubers. And Haunted CS says, you know it's real because of the spelling, Lamau. Love you, Chad. Max has AIDS. Nervous Rooster says, good guy Chad post. He's grown up and taken responsibility for dumb shit he did. People grow, people change. Bottom text. And Universal Raccoon says, Chad did it better than iDubbbz IMO. Timeless Corruption says, don't think this apology is really necessary, to be honest. The internet was a different beast in 2015, 2017, and people said edgy offensive stuff for reactions all the time, especially the circles he was a part of. Feeling regret for the things we said back in those times is sort of part of the package, but it's a really mature and well done apology that doesn't blatantly shit on his own fan base, so he's doing something right. Natonic replies, but when iDubbbz says the same thing, he's a soy boy and a pussy and gets made fun of by the entire internet. And Guro Vega says, because he handled it way differently. And that's what the internet's had to say so far. See you next episode.